ready. Let the wind imitate your motion. Let the mountains gaze in awe and the earth shake to welcome you. Know that you are our comfort, black woman. The world needs you, so walk on. Walk on, don't look back. Walk on with your head held high and your shoulders back. Walk through life as you are. Be loved, be graceful, be black, be time, be the sun, be beautiful, be loved, be graceful, be black, be the time, be the sun, be beautiful, be loved, be graceful, be black, be time, be the sun, be beautiful. Walk on, black woman, walk on. There are some black men who don't represent Nike around the world, that are not poster boards or cartoons, some that never shuffled. There are black men that can't dance, that are not pop stars, or don't say nigger in every other word or paint bullseyes on our children's backs. Some black men walk hood streets not as pimps or gangsters, who don't need to be seen, that never sold a vial of crack or a bag of weed or smoked a black and mild. They're comfortable with the sweat on their brow, how dark they get in the sun, or the man they mama made them. There are some black men that work sun up to sundown still, that kiss their children to sleep, that walk them to the corner store, that despite their pain, poverty, and subjugation, fight back with love and gentle stares, with purpose and dignity, that raise their families on purpose. Black men that built for themselves, that will never accept slavery, that died on plantations and killed too. Some black men actually love their wives and provide for their families. There are black men that are not apologist mouthpieces or get paid to defecate on our hopes or sell us right-wing dreams for large smiles, a seat on a talk show and a hat full of coins. Some black men are not funny. They know no punchlines. They can't act, don't giggle in corners, or look at the ground when they speak. There's some black men that spoke fire, that gathered millions, that burned plantations, that challenged lies, that stood in the way of hatred, that cursed poverty and found cures, that smashed Jim Crow, that held their fist in the air, that told the truth, There are black men, hundreds of them, that were never criminals, never begged or stole or victimized their community, but were steel workers and longshoremen and laborers and sanitation workers and custodians and teachers and fathers and even some as grandfathers. There are black men that stood up and died for democracy from sea to shining sea, from the segregated South to the South of Canada. Men that were black on purpose, race men, revolutionaries, workers, heroes. I gotta read that to my guys, you know, because sometimes we forget. We watch TV and we think all of the men was on Housewives of Atlanta or Housewives of this, some reality TV show. You know, they enjoy us as two things, funny, contemptible types or murderers. Those are the two things that we're accepted as, like funny jokesters who make everybody laugh and giggle and have fun, and you know, or we just murderers. We just insane criminals who shoot people, and those are the characters they believe us as. And so that's why it's hard to cast us in different movies and films, because nobody believes that. That can't possibly be true. Is that true? Right? So we're always, you know, cast as these types of people because people believe that. For years I could stand in front of the school, people don't believe you're the principal. They walk past, excuse me, have you seen the principal? Do you know where he is? And you know, I like to feed into that. I'm like, well, if you go around here, make a left, he might be right there. You know, and the people in the office look and smile like this rather crazy. But you know, because I can't be the principal. A well-dressed custodian maybe, or a very informative security guard. You know, I could be all of those things, but you can't possibly be the principal. Oh, and they find out you're the principal, this school must be out of control, so we brought you here to calm it down. And when you get it calm, we're gonna bring the smart people in. and you get to go, and the smart people get to turn the school around, right? And there are people who turn public schools around, who have been making public schools work in this country, who you'll never see on TV. They'll never do a op-ed piece, a large thing about them doing the kind of incredible work that they have to do with all of the deficits that our children come to school with. And you never get the praise for any of that. What they do is show you test scores of kids who have, so 50% of the kids pass the state test. What they don't tell you is that 90% came to them 2-3 grade levels behind, and it took incredible work to get 50% of them to pass with no resources, no support, no help, nothing, just determined teachers in those classrooms trying to drag those kids, right? Trying to drag them sometimes to places where they don't even want to be. Who have to come there committed to love them even more than they hate themselves. Right? And you have to be committed to that. Long hours, spend their own money on children, and all kinds of. Now teachers are the reason that public school has failed in America. All over the world. The problem with public school, not poverty, not unemployment, not segregation and racism. Teachers. Unions and teachers. The unions did it because they want you to have a decent pay and a pension when you die, and when you get old and about to die, right? So you want to have all these things. So it's these people must be evil. You got to be evil. God must be a black woman, When I was younger, every time I got on my knees, my mama showed up. I swear every time I got on my knees, it was my mama's face that came to me in complete stillness. It was my mama that made all the miracles happen in my house. She saved lives for a living, breathed air in our lungs, raised 4 black boys in the world that tries to suffocate them. Hail mama, full of grace, blessed are ye amongst women. It was that preacher that took her out of the trinity of things, made her a ghost, and tried to make me afraid of her image. Hail mama, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our rebirth. Move the stone from the cave of our minds and resurrect us. Help us recall the taste of ebony and the black of the womb, that darkness in triple stages, like kissing the midnight sky, giving birth to a miracle. She wears the color of eternity on her face, ageless. But as old as time itself, she carries civilization on her back. The trees weep when she walks. The wind envies her, yet she cries oceans of tears, for her children are persecuted. Hail mama, blessed is the fruit of thy womb. The world has turned its back on you. Do you know her name, your mother, your sister, your wife? I saw her at a block party at Elizabeth and Mika. She sat there and everyone that passed looked. Some even spoke, and if you were lucky, she smiled at you. She would look your way for just a split second and you would fall in love with her high cheekbones, the music in her voice, the tone in her eyes, the curve of her lips, the way she holds her hands. She washed other people's clothes to put her kids through school. She taught other people's children and cleaned other people's homes. She tilled their soils and worked their factories. She kept our families together. She saved lives for a living. Yeah, God must be a black woman. Every time I got on my knees, my mama showed up. God must be a black woman. Hell, who else could have done all of this anyway? Hail, Holy Queen, Mother of Mercy. Hail, our life, our sweetness, our hope. Hail, black woman, the Madonna, life giver. The world has wronged you. This is the last one I'm going to read. Hopefully, give us some courage. It's called Whom Shall We Fear? Because we seem to be really afraid these days. I talk to people, sometimes you talk to people, they whispering, and there's nobody in the room but you and them. You ever talk to people like that? They come in the room and they say, hey brother, let me talk to you about something. I'm looking around like, is somebody under the chair? What's going on there? And just start whispering. I'm like, oh, are we in that place? I mean, this is a lot of fear. People always talk about what they think needs to be done, or what should be done, or what could happen, but they're never the ones to do it. They're waiting for somebody else to do something. We've been waiting a long time for other people to do stuff. And we got here because somebody did something. Somebody got up and did something, right? So those kids at North Carolina A&T who went and sat in that Woolworth lunch counter, when they got up, they were young kids. They didn't wait for Martin Luther King or nobody else to come and do anything. They didn't wait for any of that. They did it themselves. They went to that lunch counter themselves and started a mass sit-in movement in the South. They did that. They just got up and did it, right? And so we're waiting for other people to do stuff that we should do ourselves, right? Whom shall we fear? There's nothing left to be afraid of. We've already been captured, fed as strange fruit. Our children sold away from us. We've already worked for free, died millions of times over in watery graves. So whom should we fear now? What makes us tremble in the dark? Why should we shudder in the shadow of his terribleness? This faceless ugly. We have seen the awful and twisted tales of American freedom up close. So why quiet away now, nor soft speak or huddle? We have been there already, more than once even. Rotted away in the Alabama experiments, beat to death and sunken in Mississippi's rivers, canine teeth ripping into our flesh, our foreskin, our children sacrificed, fodder for those that loved religion more than they loved humanity, our hope murdered right in front of our very eyes in our most sacred and protected places, our severed bodies already dragged across this land, split by hate and futility. Our blood is already all over the flag. We have been patriots already. Our sons' memories are left in bunkers all over the world, defending places and ideas only longed for that never welcomed them home. So why should we fear now? What is left for us to be afraid of? Look at us, ourselves, in the middle of this smog of unfiltered air of murder and profit. We've been born already, colored already, taught to shuffle already. We cried already. Who can they kill now that ain't dead already? We dead a long time ago. Our questions answered already. We was dead and sleep and woke up again already. We woke and saw, we marched and gathered already. We shouted and stomped already. We overcame and came over and overcame already. We already was here. Stand aside, dead man on a tear. Yeah. I want to thank you and thank Detroit for inviting me out. I appreciate it. You know, somebody lately called me an idealist, and it reminded me of a poem that I have in this book, and I told them swiftly that I'm not an idealist. I'm a materialist because I believe that my ideas can become real. Right? I believe in the actual real world, the material of the world, that the fight against hunger is not idealism, it's real. Right? It's very material. Idealism is to believe that people can be oppressed for years and they'll never get angry and do something about it. Right? That's idealism. That you can put millions of people in slavery and poverty and don't expect a response from that. That is idealism. It is idealistic for corporations to believe that everybody is going to be in poverty but them. It is idealistic to believe that half of your city is going to be poor and you're not, and you won't get robbed, or your car won't be broken into, or your kid won't be in a gang one day. It is idealism to believe that you can live alongside extreme levels of poverty and still be safe. That is idealism. I'm a materialist, so I believe that we have to change the conditions, the material conditions of the world. And we do that by, yes, electing, by marching, by protesting, by talking and discussing, but also by writing poetry and singing songs and building and creating sculpture and art and beauty. So people who believe that art is not revolution are people who are naive, because art is revolution to me. Right? So art is revolution. It changes people's ideas and their mindset and their feeling, and it makes them get up and do something. It makes them get up and see something differently. So keep writing, keep singing, keep building, keep creating, and keep organizing, keep voting, keep protesting, keep doing the things to move this country a step further and let the world know that we were here. We always been here, and we always gonna be here. God bless.